this, lads. But it's been revealed with Sophie Cunningham. Fever Wing Sophie Cunningham was fined twice for behaviour at the end of Clash, but her misconduct appears to be already paying dividends. She received a $400 fine, as well as an additional undisclosed penalty for a role in the shoving match that followed. It's probably not more than $1,000.
The WNBA just suspended Sophie Cunningham, and fans did not stay quiet about it. They reacted like it was a mix of WWE chaos and a reality TV meltdown. So, what did Sophie actually do? Why is the league acting like she committed a huge crime? And why are fans now launching what feels like a glitter-filled protest? Get ready, this drama has more twists than a soap opera on energy drinks.
Marina Marbury shoves Caitlin Clark to the ground after she's slashed in the eye by one player, rushed by another. Like, I can clearly see why some of y'all teams in the WNBA are just not successful, bro. Like, y'all don't know how to act. We just gonna call it for what it is. Y'all don't know how to act. Like, there's basketball stuff, and then there's just completely plain dirt.
The WNBA thought kicking out Sophie Cunningham would be the end of it, like getting rid of the one sleepover guest who actually brought snacks. But nope, they sparked a whole movement instead. Fans didn't whine or sulk, they fought back the modern way, by buying everything with Sophie's name on it. Her jersey sold out faster than logic disappears at a league disciplinary meeting.
Now everybody knows who Sophie Cunningham is. Everybody wants a piece of Sophie Cunningham. Her jersey is the #1 selling jersey in the WNBA. Sold out. Now, why is that significant? I'll tell you. Because her jersey surpassed the all-time woman, Caitlin Clark. The most popular woman ever in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, got her jersey surpassed by Sophie Cunningham. Why? Because Sophie Cunningham stood up for Caitlin Clark. She did all of these...
1 minute, Sophie's being pushed out like she didn't get invited to the WNBA's inner circle. The next, she's the Taylor Swift of women's hoops. Her merch didn't just sell, it vanished. Even resale sites were cashing in, with fans paying Beyoncé ticket-level prices. In no time, Sophie went from barely mentioned on stat sheets to a full-on fan-favorite icon, way before the league could even say, "Our bad."
Jersey selling out, how cool is that for your...
Yeah, it's cool. It's funny what kind of people are attracted to. I'm just trying to keep the main thing. The main thing is that's basketball, trying to win games, sticking up for my teammates. And that's all part of it. I think all that stuff it's fun and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we need to win some basketball games. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to be me. I don't go in there trying to predetermine anything. I'm dialed in. I need to focus on hitting my shots, making sure I'm executing the schemes right. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had
And all this, for what? For the crime of not standing still while her teammate, Caitlin Clark, was getting targeted like it was open season on talent. Apparently, having your teammates back is now a technical foul if it makes the league's favorite chaos agents uncomfortable. We've officially entered an era where showing integrity and calm gets punished more than throwing an elbow to the face. Wild.
It's wild what the WNBA trying to do to Sophie Cunningham. I love Sophie Cunningham because at the end of the day, you supposed to, how I was taught, and me growing up playing sports, we protecting each other, bro. At the end of the day, all for one, one for all. So look, you think I'm gonna keep allowing you to beat up on my teammate and my teammate playing clean ball, but you trying to poke. Y'all literally been beating this girl up, pushing her on the floor, pulling her hair, poking her in the eye. You hear me? That's dangerous.
Sophie didn't throw a punch. She didn't start a fight. All she did was stand up, and somehow, in the upside-down world of WNBA officiating, that's more offensive than the actual fouls happening on the court. You'd think she drop-kicked a mascot the way she was escorted out. But no, her only crime was supporting a teammate who's been treated like a target all season. The punishment? Ejection, the response? Fan chaos, a merch-buying frenzy that screamed, "You can bench her, but we're putting her name on every shirt from here to Tokyo." It wasn't just support, it was fashion-fueled protest. Sophie didn't just become a symbol. She became a brand. A living contradiction to everything the league seems to reward. She didn't play dirty. She didn't talk trash. She didn't throw elbows. She stood with poise, and that alone got her tossed. If keeping your cool is now a crime, Sophie's serving life. Meanwhile, players body-checking Clark like it's a wrestling match? Not even a whistle, but Sophie? She gets benched for breathing wrong.
NBA and seeing how things are run, seeing how things are done, and after you've seen what it looks like to get it right, and you come in and see something looking really wrong, you're going to call it out. It is what it is. You're going to be critical of players. If they do something shady or classless, you're going to call that out. That's what fans do. And it's not hate or any of that other crap that Kathy Engelbert wants to cook up to try to suppress free speech. Nah, we're not getting down with that. All right, so anyway.
It's clear where the league's priorities lie: keep the chaos going, as long as it's not their chaos. But fans saw right through it. They didn't need a press conference or some forced apology. They needed one thing, a Sophie Cunningham jersey, and they needed it yesterday. This wasn't about team colors or fabric. It was about sending a message. Buying her jersey wasn't just fashion, it was protest. A bold, stylish way to say, you punished the wrong person. It became retail rebellion at its finest. In fact, the WNBA may have accidentally created the most expensive protest in league history. Every swipe of a credit card for Sophie's name was a silent vote, a raised eyebrow at the nonsense, a stitched-in middle finger to a system that rewards the wrong behavior. Cunningham's name wasn't just on a roster anymore, it was on receipts, headlines, and hearts of fans who'd had enough. Because if there's one thing fans won't tolerate, it's fake discipline wrapped in hypocrisy, especially when it's that obvious. Sophie didn't fight. She didn't shout. She simply stood firm, while everyone else looked away. And for that, she was kicked out like she'd just crashed a royal banquet.
Minute left, and all hell broke loose between J.C. Sheldon and Sophie Cunningham, and it is very clear the Indiana Fever, some of these girls on this team are finally fed up. Finally fed up. Once again, WNBA, we're not talking about your basketball. We're talking about the WNBA WWE Raw circus that you got going on right now, and we all know this incident with Sophie stems from the incident that was clearly not handled correctly by the WNBA.
But instead of fading away, Sophie Cunningham exploded into the spotlight. Her jersey sales didn't just rise, they launched into orbit. Sure, she left the game early, but her impact played through all 4 quarters and straight into overtime. She became the face of quiet resistance, of fierce loyalty, of, no, I'm not just going to sit back while my teammate gets hit like she owes someone money. The league's message was clear: conform or face consequences. But the fans? They had a louder one. Not today. They turned what was supposed to be a punishment into a movement. A silent moment of solidarity became a full-blown streetwear sensation. And the best part? No shouting required. Just a click. Just a jersey. Just a stylish, subtle, we see you, and we're not buying it. Now, every Sophie Cunningham jersey in the crowd isn't just fan support, it's a statement. A reminder that WNBA fans aren't blind, and they're definitely not spineless. If backing your teammate gets you benched, then fine, Sophie's got an entire stadium ready to stand with her. The WNBA is stumbling. A mess of bad calls, blown chances, and non-stop clips of Caitlin Clark getting tossed around like she wandered into the wrong bar. And the music? It's about to stop. Want this turned into a powerful voiceover script, social post, oh.
Cunningham. At the end of the game, J.C. Sheldon is going for a fast break layup and Sophie Cunningham is running with her. And I remember in my head, like, it happened in a split second, and I said, oh, let's see. Let's see what happens here. Sophie commits a hard foul on J.C. Sheldon. Again, as J.C. Sheldon is going up for a layup, Sophie bear hugs her and takes her to the ground. What I will say is Sophie did not grab her and throw her to the ground. She didn't body slam her. She didn't do anything, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased.
This was supposed to be season 2 of the Caitlin Clark era. A fresh start, a new vibe, maybe even a little respect sprinkled in like Parmesan on pasta. But instead, we got the same chaos, just turned up louder, with a side of flying elbows. It's not just rough anymore, it's borderline criminal. Caitlin can't get through 2 possessions without someone accidentally slamming her into the floor. She's pushed around more than a broken shopping cart at a discount store. If defenders spent half as much time actually playing defense as they do trying out for American Gladiators, WNBA edition, we might get to watch actual basketball, not a live-action physics experiment on force and momentum. The league had a chance, the chance, to take a generational talent and build something electric. Caitlyn is a walking brand deal, a human highlight reel, and one of the few players who makes people actually turn on their TVs. That's not a dig at anyone else, it's just facts. But instead of protecting that asset, the league is letting her become a crash test dummy. Every game feels like a hazing ritual only the cool kids understand. And the physicality? It's not gritty. It's not edgy. It's ridiculous. At this point, if Caitlyn makes it through a game without looking like she fell down a flight of stairs, it's a miracle. But sure, let's keep pushing the let them play narrative while ignoring the fact that no one else is getting bulldozed like this.
I felt like Sophie might have wanted a piece of JC after the Caitlin Clark and JC kind of scuffle going on, right? Then this happened, okay? The fast break, you see Sheldon taking it. After getting a steal, Sophie wraps her arms around her. Now, this is normal, okay? In my opinion, this is normal. This is a hard foul. She just didn't want her to get a shot up on the fast break, send her to the line. She's just grabbing her.